Now, am I making a review on a 4-year-old game? Yes, I am. But this 4-year-old, almost 5-year-old game, I've spent a ton of hours with. And this review was going to be the first video on my channel, but I never made it until right now. So here is a very late review of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart 8 originally came out for the Wii U in 2014, and then was ported to the Nintendo Switch in 2017, entitled Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This Nintendo Switch port included all of the Wii U's DLC. This included new characters like Isabelle, Link, Tanuki Mario, and Cat Peach. Yep, it's canon, there are cat girls in Mario Kart. This also included new courses like Animal Crossing and Wario's Gold Mine, and all of this was bundled into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, all of these booster packs that they added to the original Mario Kart 8 are kind of irrelevant to today's discussion. So this review will only be on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It will not be on the original Mario Kart 8. I will also not be drawing any comparisons between the two games for that same reason. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is probably my favorite Mario Kart that I have ever played. It combines everything that I love about previous entries in the series into one game, so therefore it is my default favorite. For a little bit of background, I have played Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart 7, and that's it. And I love each of these Mario Kart games in their own special way. And most of the reason why I love any Mario Kart game is because of the tracks. So let's get into those first. Mario Kart 8 tracks have quite the variety of quality. A lot of these tracks are visually interesting, or they're really fun to play because they have a lot of interesting mechanics, or the theme is just really nice. A good example of a track that is really fun to play because of the gameplay elements are something like the Bowser's Castle track. There's a lot of moving obstacles, there's a lot of just unpredictability to this track, which makes it very replayable. A track with a really good theme is something like Mount Wario, which is a mountain that you have to race down, and there are pretty much 3 sections to this track. There's the ice portion, there's the bumpy portion, and then there's the flying portion, where your glider pops out and you go through all those rings until you get to the finish line. Now, this is a well-themed track because the visuals aren't really changing much for the most part. There's mainly just snow and ice to look at, and that really makes a set theme while you're going through many different types of terrain. So, whereas the theme of snow isn't changing, the terrain changes, which spice up the track a little bit, but the theme is still set in stone. The problem with the theme for some of these tracks is that the Nintendo character that they're naming the track after doesn't really have anything to do with the track itself. They just are present in the track in spirit, whether that be their colors or they're like in the stands or something like that, but the track itself has nothing to do with them. I just kind of wish that some of these tracks had more broad names, because these tracks aren't meant for one specific character. They're meant to be raced on by all the characters present in the roster, so for them to have more general appeal would be nice. Like, for example, Rainbow Road is a very iconic track, and it has nothing to do with anything. It is solely a Mario Kart creation, and I feel like Mario Kart should go more in that direction. Just name a track after what it looks like, what it feels like, or something like that. Not tie it to a certain Nintendo character. Because when you name a track after a character, I feel like half the time you're not really representing what the character is, who the character is, what games they are present in. It just feels like you tied them to a track just to have representation for your properties. because I could change the name of some of these tracks, and I don't think it would make any difference to the quality of the track, or how the track is played on, or what the track represents. But there are some tracks that need to have their character's name or the property name in the course name. Like Yoshi Valley needs to be called Yoshi Valley because there is Yoshi related items in the track. Like there's a giant Yoshi egg. So in that case, it would need to be called Yoshi Valley. Also a track like Excite Bike, which is directly tied to one of the tracks in the original Excite Bike game. It's a direct recreation of one of those tracks. So in that case, yes, this would need to be called Excite Bike, because if it were named anything else, that would be strange. But in the grand scheme of things, the names of tracks in Mario Kart 8 don't really matter, but what matters is, are they good to race on? Now, most of the tracks in Mario Kart 8 are a blast to race on. Most of them I've already mentioned. Tracks like Excite Bike, N64 Rainbow Road, Wario's Gold Mine, Music Park, Bowser's Castle, the list goes on. I love all these tracks because each of them feels distinct from one another. None of them feel the same. None of them feel like they're rehashing the same map design. None of them feel like they're reusing assets in the environment. They all feel different. And I feel like Mario Kart 8 tracks have fantastic theming. Like, for example, Twisted Mansion. Twisted Mansion has great theming. It's based on the Haunted Mansion from Luigi's Mansion. And I haven't played a Luigi's Mansion game, but I feel from what I've seen of gameplay from the first 3 games, I feel like this is pretty faithful. Another track with some great theming is Sunshine Airport. Sunshine Airport is supposedly based on the airport from Mario Sunshine. I don't really get a lot of Mario Sunshine vibes when I play this track, but it is a really good theme when you just take away Mario Sunshine connections and it's just an airport. With the themes of these tracks, you want to feel like you're at the place that they themed the track around. So if you're in a jungle, you want to feel like you're in a jungle, and Sunshine Airport is no different. I truly feel like I'm in an airport. Now, some tracks may have great themes, but they're still terribly designed, like Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road. Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road has a great design. I love the space aesthetic, where it's a rainbow road, but it's all attached to a space station type thing. But the problem with this track is that it's really difficult to race on. You fall off of it all the time, which doesn't really make it challenging, it just makes it frustrating, because when I'm in the middle of a race, I don't really want to be falling off the track all the time. I want to just keep on the track the whole way, and have a challenge come through when I'm racing opponents. A Mario Kart track, I feel like, needs to just be the backdrop to what makes this game challenging for people. This is supposed to be a casual experience, so this game doesn't have to be difficult. But these frustrating tracks are few and far between, so most of this game is just quality tracks. Now, a Mario Kart 8 track on the total opposite side of the spectrum is something like Baby Park. Baby Park has no style. It has no design. It is literally a circle. It is probably the simplest of the Mario Kart tracks, and for that, it sucks. It has no personality, and it's very, very bland. It may have a pretty backdrop of an amusement park, but it's not fun. Now, all the tracks that I mentioned in these previous sections were all new creations for Mario Kart 8, but there is a huge emphasis on retro tracks in this game, so let's get into those next. There are a total of 16 different retro tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and they all have been remastered to fit the visual style of Mario Kart 8. And all these old tracks look great in this new modern art style. None of them look janky or out of place. And all these tracks made the transition from the older style that they came from to this new style with Mario Kart 8. They all made the transition flawlessly. None of these old tracks look like they were underdone in the visual department, which is always my biggest concern when they add old stuff into new games. I'm hoping when they add newer stuff into older games, it matches the style of the new stuff flawlessly, and there's no noticeable difference between the old stuff and the new stuff. And with Mario Kart 8, it's flawless. The course selection that they picked for the retro tracks is pretty good, pretty solid. There's no retro tracks that feel like they are just shoehorned in or they were running out of ideas, so they added stuff in. All of these retro tracks feel like they belong here, in that they're worthwhile parts of this game and a worthwhile addition to the course selection. My favorite of these retro tracks are Wario's Goldmine, N64 Rainbow Road, and TikTok Clock, because where they came from graphically to what they are now looks unrecognizable. These look so good in Mario Kart 8, and these are some of my favorite Mario Kart tracks of all time, so to have them all in the modern graphical style is super awesome. Now, I feel like the courses aren't anything without the Grand Prix. I feel like the Grand Prix are what makes a Mario Kart game. Because the Grand Prix are going to be there even when Mario Kart 8 loses its online functionality. The Grand Prix are most of the time always the first thing that you check out when you get a new Mario Kart game. But most of the time, once people check out the Grand Prix, they move on. They move on to the online. And that really sucks, because I feel like the Grand Prix go really unappreciated. Going through the Grand Prix of a Mario Kart game gives me such nostalgia, because it reminds me of playing Mario Kart DS or Mario Kart Wii. This is just the core of any Mario Kart game. Now, with this Mario Kart game, there is plenty of single-player content, if that's your sort of thing. There are 4 races per cup as usual, and there are 12 cups in total. And don't forget that you also have all of the different speeds. You have 50 cc's to 200 cc's, and you also have the mirrored versions. So when you're going through all these tracks, they're all flipped. You can try and go through all the Grand Prix and get first place in every single race, and then you can go through every single race, get first place in every single speed level if you're a completionist. This adds a lot of replay value to all the single-player modes, so there's a lot of content if you want to go all the way with this and just be a completionist. And the bonus of going through all the Grand Prix is that the more you play them, the more you get unlockables, like you get new tires, you get new gliders, and you get new karts. And all these parts, like the karts and the wheels and the gliders, those aren't just useless aesthetics. They have stats, and depending on what you equip, it can be more or less effective. So if you go through all these Grand Prix, you'll get better items for your kart customization, so you'll be faster with your kart speed, and you'll have more traction, and you'll be able to accelerate faster, and you'll have a glider that is a lot more quick and is a lot more durable. So the more you play the Grand Prix, and the more first places you get in Grand Prix races and in the Grand Prix overall, the better equipment you'll get from doing good in those races. So you'll unlock all this new equipment, and it'll have better stats. So when you go on online matches, you'll do better in online matches because you'll have much better gear and you'll be better equipped. So it really does benefit you to go through all these Grand Prix and get all these good stats so you can unlock all this new equipment. Next up, we have the time trial mode. This is definitely the most bare bones mode in the entire game. There isn't really much to do, and I have a few suggestions on how to make it a little better. So all you do in this mode is that it's just you racing a course that you've selected. You can select any course you want, and you race this course 3 times, and once you have a set time, you can run courses over and over and over again and try and beat your time. Now, this is pretty bare bones and isn't really fun to play. It's just fun if you want to try and work out a new strategy or something like that, which I don't really do that much. So, to make this a little better, I think we can add missions. Missions were most prominent in Mario Kart DS, and I think it would be really cool if they would have brought that back, and they could have added that into the time trials to try and beef up this mode to make it worth playing at all. And you could add certain rewards for if you beat a certain time or do a certain move or certain trick or something like that. Just a little bit to spice it up. A little bit of a reason to play this mode. Now, moving on to the online for this game, it's pretty good, all things considered. The Nintendo Switch online services are usually not the smoothest servers in the world. They're very laggy and they crash all the time. So, for Mario Kart to run smoothly 90% of the time, that's pretty good. Matchmaking in this game is also pretty balanced. You don't really get paired with people way outside your skill level unless you have friends in your party, and by that account, their skill level and your skill level get averaged. So you may be versing people that are above your skill level, but that's just because you have more people in your lobby. Sometimes you do get one guy that has like a 30,000 skill level, and that's pretty jarring, but for the most part, we're all on even ground here. It's just the people that are more experienced in the game. It's not really something that if you're in a lobby with a 30,000 rank person, you're going to get absolutely crushed, because Mario Kart's really all about that luck. So that never really bothers me when something like that happens. It most of the time just means more skill points for me, which I don't mind at all. That's just kind of a minor gripe. The online itself is pretty good. It's actually one of the few Switch games that runs smoothly while online. It's really fun to rank up your characters in these online matches. It's really fun to just race different people from around the world, and it gives you a variety of challenge, because every time you race, it's never the same. You can be at the top of the world, being in first place for 3 laps in a row, or you can be in 12th and have to work your way up the whole time. It just really depends on who you're racing with. It's kind of a double-edged sword, though, because no one likes getting last place in Mario Kart. I think that's kind of a given, but it really does spice up the variety, because no win is ever too easy, so that keeps me coming back day after day after day. And this is really a fun game to grind. It's a great game to just watch your rank go up and up and up and up. It's super satisfying. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is the battle mode. I've heard that the battle mode in the original Mario Kart 8 isn't so good, so to have the battle mode all revamped and actually be fully functional and pretty fun in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is pretty nice. The battle mode may be fun, but it does lack a little bit of content still. This mode doesn't really lack in any of the ways to play this specific mode, but it still does lack in the track selection. There are only 8 courses in the battle mode, and I think that's extremely low. Sure, you have tons of different types of battle mode, but the amount of courses still is lackluster. So you can't really hide the fact that you don't have very many courses with all these different ways to play. I think if they were to up the number of courses to at least 12, I think it would be well balanced. But as it stands, it's a little lackluster. And also, the courses that they add feel very derivative of some of the courses in the Grand Prix. They are based directly from some of the tracks in the Grand Prix, so it makes some of those feel a little less thought out and a little less necessary. I guess what I'm looking for in this battle mode is a little more variety and a little more fresh ideas for this battle mode, because I don't mind if they completely make a brand new track from the ground up. I don't mind that at all. If they did that, I feel like it would be a lot more fresh when you jumped in the battle mode. So, the battle mode in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is better because they're actual arenas that you do battle mode in instead of just Mario Kart 8 tracks, but in a different mode. So for that, it's good enough, but it does lack because there isn't a lot of track selection. Overall, I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has a very good track selection, probably one of the best I've seen in a Mario Kart game, but there are some modes for the game overall that are a little underdone, and I wish with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that they expanded upon these modes. But other than that, I think that this Mario Kart gets a lot right in a lot of ways, like the track selection and many of the maps, just in general, are really good, and that's mainly the crux of any Mario Kart. So the fact that this track selection is as good as it is a big plus in my opinion. I can put aside all my feelings toward the underbaked modes in this game, and I can just focus on the track selection, and it's still a super solid game. Overall, this game is really, really good, and one of the best Mario Karts that I've ever played. So, I think that's all from me, and I will see you in the next one.